The pellet with the poisons in the flagon with the dragon. The vessel with the pestle has the brew that is true. Add interest to your encounters with flagons, mugs, and tankards. Welcome to my channel. I focus on tabletop role-playing games, video games, and science fiction. There is a very old movie starring Danny Kaye called The Court Jester. And it has this wonderful verbal play about mugs, chalices. I'll try and repeat it. I'll put the link to the real one, which is really great. It says, I've got it. The pellet with the poisons in the vessel with the pestle. The chalice from the palace has the brew that is true. Right? Right. But there's been a change. They broke the chalice from the palace. They broke the chalice from the palace and replaced it with a flagon. A flagon? With a figure of a dragon. Flagon with a dragon. Right? But he says, but did you put the pellet with the poison in the vessel with the pestle? No, the pellet with the poison is in the flagon with the dragon. The vessel with the pestle has the brew that is true. The pellet with the poisons in the flagon with the dragon. The vessel with the pestle has the brew that is true. It goes on. It's a somewhat humorous scene, a little bit slapstick, but it gives you some funny things to think about with regard to vessels like tankards and so on. So you have the poison pellet is they're trying to poison one of the characters by putting a poison into the drink that they're going to drink, and does it have a dragon on it? It has the from the chalice from the palace, or the whatever it is. That's one thing to think about. So as your characters go along, you may find various things. By the way, I'll put the picture of this up here. This is from my sort of collection of mugs. I have a flagon with a dragon on it, and I got that at the Maryland State Fair years ago. I actually have two of them. One of them the handle broke, and this one actually has got a hairline crack, so it leaks. So I don't use that anymore. But I used to drink my tea, and they hold a little bit more than a liter. They're great. I've got to go back and buy another one of those. But that brings up the whole concept of sets of mugs, in complete sets. I don't know if many of you have ever read the book Johnny Tremaine. It's an old book that is often in junior high school, I guess, is the age. It's a patriotic, set in the time of the American Revolution and so on. And the big thing is about the mug and what people have, and it was the missing mug from that. So you can think about this. You could end up with entire quests about going and retrieving this mug that was stolen from someone, or you come into an ancient mansion and you see there's a placeholder for say there's a 12-place set of dinnerware, but there are 13 mugs. And it sort of makes you wonder, where did the 13th one come into it? Now, that leads to a sort of disgusting topic of leftover contents. When I was in the service, I was in S3, and one day we were called out on an alert, and we ended up spending 2 weeks out in the field. But the person I shared my office with was a big coffee drinker, and he was drinking his coffee, and when we went on alert, he left his coffee mug half filled with coffee, and we went to the field. Well, the coffee mug, it's got coffee, it's got water, it had creamer, and it had sugar in it. Well, when we came back 2 weeks later, the contents of the mug were, shall we say, interesting. I actually put it out on a ledge. We had this little ledge that was sort of protected somewhat from the weather because nobody wanted to clean this. This was just totally disgusting. with this mug that was there with this growth inside it. So these are something that you can put in there. This means that you could put various types of growth in there, everything from green slime to yellow mold to anything that you want to put in that could be in the contents of the mug that could have grown from what was left when the mug was left there. And then we have some other interesting comments about mugs. Often you'll see pictures of people who've had mugs made from horns. There are those who, you can actually order them on Amazon. I've seen some of them where you can get a 20-ounce mug made from horn of a cow or whatever, or some beast. But this brings up the concept of what happens if the creature who had the horn removed was still alive and wanted the horn back. So they've been hunting it down and your party finds this. Well, you can be accused of, do you cut it off and you're stealing my horn, and various things like that. So you can add those type of interesting things, or you can do like I have with the flagon with the dragon on it. You can have various creatures on that. Now that always makes the characters, do they wonder, are they alive? Well, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but they have various creatures on them. Maybe they have the essence, maybe they attract those creatures, maybe they repel those creatures, maybe they give you some of the power of those creatures if they're magical. So then you also run into the other couple of interesting ideas with them. So you see the mug is turned upside down on the table. And if the party comes over and knocks the mug over or picks up the mug, sitting under the mug are 5 dice. Now mug is used for shaking dice. I don't know if there are various dice games that are there. Now the question is that do they... are the dice loaded or not? There's a scene in a funny thing happened on the way to the forum, and where somebody sees Pseudolus' mug, where Pseudolus is just one thing, and he picks up the mug and sets it down, and then he picks it up, and when he picks it up, it leaves a set of dice, and then when he sets it down again, it leaves another set of dice. So what happens is Pseudolus had set up his mug where it would release dice in a particular, all set up with particular roll so that you could win. So you could have a magical mug that worked with dice, or you could have it as not a magical mug but a magician's type mug where that's not magical, but it just does, it releases dice in a pattern so that they're there, and maybe the dice are loaded, maybe they're not, depends on what your other ones. Then, of course, there's always, you see the mug and it's sitting on a coaster. Well, it doesn't actually have to be sitting on a coaster. It's just sitting on the table. If you move the mug, underneath the mug on the table is, say, carved in a symbol or something. Or if it is on a coaster, the coaster has a symbol. This allows you to put maps, to put symbols, to put icons, leading the party in various ways. So all of these are ways to use something as simple as a mug or a flagon or a chalice or a pestle, vessel with a pestle, that you could add interest to a rather mundane topic of just tableware on a table. Thank you. I look forward to learning what you think about this video. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate all your comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate both forms of feedback. If you're new here and would like to subscribe, you can click on the icon on the left. If you're interested, there's more content on the right. Thank you.